Greetings, everyone. I hope everyone is okay on this beautiful fall Thursday. And yeah, the colors are coming in. The trees now are turning orange and yellow. It's absolutely fantastic here. How are you doing? How is the weather in your parts of the world? And what do you see outside your window? Can you see trees and hills? I'm lucky in that respect. So let's do a quick sound check and let's see who's here with us today. I'm looking at the two chats on the Maxon Training Team YouTube channel and the Maxon YouTube channel. And according to my stats, there are at least 10 people watching right at this moment. Sorry to bother you, just some feedback to see if I'm audible. There you go. Comments. Oh, this is interesting. So I can see the comments in StreamYard, but I can't see them in the YouTube feed. That is astonishing. So let me close these. Oh, there you go. Now they appeared. Oh my Lord. Let me open them again. I have a feedback here. So pop out chat. And I put them on one of my million monitors over here to make sure. So, how's everyone? Dean, um, David, Sharon, and many others that are in the background. So I think I'm going to do this. Yeah, I'm going to reply on the main comment section. Okay. So nice to see everyone. I'm going to do housekeeping at the end of the show. And please make sure that any questions, you preface them with a capitalized question in the chat so I can distinguish it and see it easily. There we go. Here are the comments. And let me show you something. Let me go here. I want to show you what I've been working on these days. So there was a video circulating using this exact mixer model about using animation smears and stuff like that. So this is how it plays without any of those enhancements. If you want to add any interesting motion or trails and all that, as it is, you have to add motion blur. But I looked at what people are doing in other platforms, and one of them is multiples. So I developed a method. You can see the shoes and all that. And this is a node setup. It's not, I mean, uh, this is the heart of it. And it looks a bit daunting, but I would say maybe some people would be interested in how to actually do this. The reason I'm showing it like this, I'm not going to do an analysis maybe today. Let's see what happens because this is sort of diving deep into data and all that. I will tell you a couple of things which are very interesting about this and an idea I have about some tutorial series. But in any case, this is one of the things where I'm creating these in between um, states of whatever is selected. So you just use your polygon selection here and you select which parts of your model you want to create these repetitions. So let's hope it doesn't break. So I'm just pressing Shift and adding them here and with a loop selection and then filling Shift fill selection. So I've got all these and I need to make sure I'm going to save it with the name shoes. You can define that name. You will see that here I have. You can drag it in here, but for now I'm calling them shoes. So let me go to the select, press Shift and store selection. If you press Shift, it will overwrite whatever is here. If you don't press Shift, it will create a new selection. This is rather new, like a couple of years functionality or something like that, maybe a bit more. And now what this should do is, of course, you need to rewind and press play. We should see multiples in the hands as well. There you go. So this allows for some interesting stylized animation. You can do the whole character if you wish and so forth. So yeah, I'm using the same terminology that was used earlier, multiples. Now, there's another version of this, which is streaks, where you can see it's not making multiples, it's actually stretching the geometry. So, funny enough for this, so this is mirrors, right? It's mirror. Funny enough, this is quite easy to do. This is the main, let's say, algorithm here. And I am going to give you a little, let's say, a little, not an overview, but a general description of how you can do tricks like these. And sometimes users ask me, what is the knowledge that's required from me in order to do all sorts of things? And the answer is, well, know your 3D tools, right? Know how to navigate, first of all, and all that. But you need to start thinking in terms of data. Um, with If you want power, you either need tools that do these automatically. So, for example, in this case, um, at some point, I will share versions of these, which you can just drop into your animations and they'll do this, right? So you have this tool. But if you want to create your own tools with your own ideas and ways that you can program various functions in here, there are certain things you need to know. So on that note, one of the thoughts I have, and I've started an experimental version of that, is to do a series of lessons on various fundamentals. The way I describe it is the math they taught you at high school, you weren't paying attention, and actually it's useful for you, and something like that. Maybe it's going to be a title worth a paragraph of words. And things like cross products, dot products, and various smart algorithms and stuff like that. And the reason why is by understanding what we can do with the data, um, and then knowing what tools we have in our disposal, then we know how to put these, we can learn how to put these things together and make things work in a very specific way. I'll give you an example. Um, let's go and activate my grow shading lines, and let's go and activate vertex normals. Okay. Now, in order to get vertex normals, I think I need to go. So if you press Shift V, and you will go to your viewport settings. I think they are here. I think it's, there you go, configure. In your viewport view, there's the configure. It's a really, really powerful manager which has all sorts of things. One of these things is the deformed editing, which gives you the ability to work in component mode while you're in the deformed state. Okay. And most of the time, it works fantastically. Now, look at all these lines. These lines are what we call the vertex normals, and they're indicating for each and every one of the vertices. And I'll explain why I call them vertices and not points, because these lie on each, let's call it UV polygon. It's not exactly the same, but it's similar, because if you have in UVs, this edge can be part of a separate polygon, and this edge can be part of a separate polygon. That's why they're 2 points. It just happened to have the same normal because we have smooth normals. If I remove the normals from here, um, you may see, yeah, I can't see it now. So let's see if we can see it. If I go here and um, I'm going to, there you go. So if I make this a small angle, you can see that we have plenty of these little little normals. Okay, that was just a little digression here. So why are these important? Normals, whether they are vertex normals or polygon normals, they indicate the direction of our component, and they are a necessity. Um, the black ones are the polygon normals. They are a necessity because a flat surface in real life, we do not have surfaces that are as flat as a polygon, which are single-sided. Everything has some sort of volume. So in order to indicate what's in and what's out, in real life, what's inside something is that part of the wall where if you bang your head stays outside and hurts. Where you can't stick your head in, that is the inside. But in our world here, we can do whatever we want. We can put one object into the other. There's no concept volume and space. It can be shared by multiple objects because everything is a surface. So we need some way to tell this model, oh, this little polygon, this is the outside facing. And with glass and all that, it becomes very, very important. Now, why am I explaining this? Well, here is a principle, okay? So you can see that with each animation frame, let's find something that has a bit of extreme motion. Let's go find a frame where we get, there you go, the hand. Look at that, or the leg. There you go, the leg, right? Let's go to this part of the model, let's go here. You can see this is moving in a certain direction, and especially the top of the knee is moving upwards, okay? So when we want to create some sort of smearing distortion like this, the whole model itself is moving in sort of a direction as like this, okay? Which naturally we need to tell it to move the polygons which are sort of facing in the direction of travel. So this polygon here, oops, I need a green color. There you go. So this polygon here is facing that way. This is facing that way. This is facing that way. The polygons, when the leg is moving upwards, the polygons that are facing in the direction of motion are going to move properly. We are going to, we want them to move where they need to move. But the polygons that are facing not exactly that way, we want them to kind of stay where they are to create that illusion. So imagine this is the bottom part of the leg, okay? And then we do this, okay? So now we have that stretched version where the real leg is here, but we have that stretched leg, these two little parts here, which create that kind of smearing. And funny enough, if we know the direction of travel of each point and where it's facing, we can make an algorithm that says something as follows. If the direction of travel during the animation of this point is towards the direction of its normal, then move it as much as it requires to be. But the more deviation we have from that direction of travel, so if the direction of travel is this way, and this is pointing this way, this is going to move ever so slightly less. This is going to move ever so slightly more. This is going to move as much as this. This is going to move a bit less. This is going to move very little because you can see nearly 90 degrees. Anything that is 90 degrees from the direction of travel and more don't move at all, which means that they're going to have a lag. And this algorithm is what I've applied in here, where, again, I'm not going to give a full explanation. I'm just giving you an idea. My attempt here is to give you an idea of how you need to think in terms of data. So the memory node, for anyone that doesn't know, this is the memory node. It's a solver. It's a solver node that compares two states, the previous state of something and the current state of something. And that could be a mesh. So I'm feeding the mesh in here. It's taking the previous points and the next points. And it's just iterating through these and getting the position and the normals by subtracting. This is a subtract. By subtracting the positions of the same point between two frames, we find that the velocity, we find where this point is going. So this is another thing you will learn. So a point is here. The next frame, it's here. This is its velocity. This little vector is the velocity. It's simple as that. And we calculate this for all the points. We normalize it. We do some normalization and all that. That's a sort of math. And we use this little magic thing, which is called a dot product and has to do with a projection of something on the something and whatnot, and which nobody really cares about, except if you're a mathematician. What this is cool for is if you get, and most people that are very very technical and very knowledgeable will be utterly frustrated with me saying this and that and the other. Uh, but we just need to know how we can use this, how it works, and what it means. No one really cares, right? If anyone disagrees with me, please let me know. So if I have one arrow, so this is a vector, right? Which is pretty much a 3D arrow in our world. Okay, so this vector, and let's say this vector. Okay, these are the extreme sort of cases we are going to have with this thing. So let me go to where's my color? I need to click here and get my colors. All right. If the arrow is 90 degrees, then the result of the dot product, which is just a normal number, it's a real or float or whatever. It's just a number. If you have up to 90 degrees, the value is 0. If it's more than 90 degrees, the value is negative, whatever. And when it's less than 80 degrees, the value goes from 0 to 1. Again, some cosine thing, they take this, they project it here. And if you take this as 1 unit, you do like, don't care, because all I want to know is that I can compare the normal and the velocity and use that number to tell this how much to move. That's how simple it is. And this is what I dream about at night. I don't know. Am I okay? And you just take that. You take the dot product, you map it. I put a mapper here so we can make things go a bit faster, a bit slower. You scale it up because things are calculated in single units and whatnot. So you make it bigger, and then you scale it up again because you say, okay, I want it to work with vertex maps. So you get the vertex map, and these are values from 0 to 1, and you multiply each point and so forth. And yeah, and I even have a little control here, vertex map or not. Dun, dun, dun. And what that means is that I can actually tell this, I just want everything to do its thing. Everything. Look, the whole model now should, if I didn't destroy it, just do the thing. Whereas here, oh, all. I just want all. Come on, rewind, press play, all. Look at that. Everything does the smear. And it's great how you can add all these little controls. Oh, no, I want to go vertex map. And yeah, vertex map, I call it smear. And now it's only the legs. You can see it's only the legs. You can go and paint the hands and so forth. So where was my node graph? I had my node graph here. Double click. And basically, this is what you do. Then you create, this is technical stuff, which once you learn, you remember. It's sort of the grammar. It's the way you need to set things up. Set your new positions for that model and send it, and this is it. Now, what is great about the sort of modifiers we can create using nodes is that we can stack them. So here, in this particular case, I'm going to use both. I'm going to use both the multiples and the smearing. And it kind of works. I mean, maybe there are some edge cases, but this should work with anything now, anything that's animated. And yeah, I woke up last night. So here now it's Eastern time, 11:20. I woke up at 2 a.m. because someone yesterday asked me if I can implement some sort of control for how the moving parts become a bit more transparent. All right. And I don't know, for some reason I woke up and I said gradient. I don't know if that's good, but yeah, and you can just do this and you can do different thingies and whatnot. Now I haven't tested it. It renders properly. So, but I haven't tested it rigorously to see at which point it breaks. But if you like to do these kind of things, we, there's a question always it comes up. Uh, is it worth making very technical tutorials? I mean, how many? We have to be realistic about about what we teach, what content we create. Are people interested in these kind of things? I believe that to a certain extent, some technical stuff is very interesting. But I'd like to hear your opinion as well. Anyway, one more thing I would like to show. Let me show you something else. Let me go. All right. First of all, right, let's go with let's go and look at the chat. Drake, good morning to you too, and everyone else. Drake says hi. Okay. Um, let's see. Let's see what this says. Okay, Mango Live would love the possibility of a context or solver to allow us to call geometry states before other deformers in the hierarchy. That is an object system thing. I have no idea uh, how and what. What? So I'm sure you know what you're talking about. If there's some setup you want to achieve and you need this as a method to achieve it, let me know. That is something that interests me. These are things, these kind of things, like your request here is something you need to send to, talk to customer support or send a request through Cinema 4D. That's pretty amazing. It's interesting. Yeah. Sharon says, I believe we are interested. Yeah, it does depend on how deep down the rabbit hole you want to go. But a lot of this stuff is quite palatable. So do yourselves a favor, go to YouTube and check out at Noseman, my YouTube channel. And I did a video about Modulo. And Modulo was one of those things where it's the remainder. So if you ask any mathematician, a modulo is the remainder of the division of two numbers and so forth. Nobody cares. You know what modulo is? Modulo is your clock. You look on your wall, right? It's a modulo 12 because although a day has 24 hours, it's expressed in 12 hours. And every 12 hours, you start from zero. That is modulo 12. So those are the kind of things that make more sense rather than, it's the remainder of division. Nobody cares. If mathematicians care, physicists care, teachers care. And if you want to pass your exam, you care. But if you're an artist, you want to find a way how to use a continuous ascending number to create the same repeating pattern. So I want to use numbers from 0 to 1,000 to make 10 patterns of 0 to 100. You just say modulo 100. That's it. You take 0 to 1,000 and you say modulo 100, and it's going to give you 0 to 100 and 0 to 100 and 0 to 100. So you get that sawtooth thing. So it's these kind of things that need to be, I would say, taught in a way that enrages mathematicians, physicists, teachers, and let's say good students. But it delights artists and people that like to put things together and make beautiful stuff. So let's see, where was I? Oh yeah, and um, I was thinking about. Oh yeah. I have one more thing to show. 1 second. It's not this. Where's the thing? I need to change glasses, or I need to bring the other monitors closer to me. 1 second, please. I think this is it. Okay. So this is another example, and I'm gonna be a bit on the on the nodes, not on the nose, a bit on the nodes today, because one of the things I like to show is that while I believe the node system is worth the effort that Rocket Lasso and Maxon is putting in the capsules and all that magnificent stuff they make, which you can just use, which under other circumstances would take longer to implement. Here you can have all these beautiful modifiers and generators and all that with splines and so forth. Besides that, I find it with minimum technical understanding, I find it extremely cool that you can do all sorts of interesting things um, with nodes. So let me see What did I break here? Because that's basically what I've done here. I think I've broken something. Okay, this and this. What do I have here? Did I break something? I don't even know because I had this and it was supposed to be working. Let me get rid of this and this. No, no. Okay, so it was just the materials. So see if this is going to render. Boop, 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 boop. There you go. So I'm going to show you pretty much how I did this because this doesn't require so much programming, so to speak. Right. So this is there's another. There was a really nice indie game. I don't remember the name where there's a character called I think Hornet that has some really cool, really fast and dynamic animations. And I realized that in order to construct an animation like that, you need to have the ability to create these kind of streaks, something like this. You need to create the multiples and the smears. So the three components, these two components here. There's one more, which I may show later on, and this over here. Okay. Now, let me just rewind here and show you how a setup like this, how simple it can become. So I took our puppet, right? This is our puppet. And I just used a constraint tag, and I constrained to the hand here, one of these joints. I constrained a cylinder because I want to put something that glows. That's it. So there's a go. There you go. A cylinder that glows. Wow. And the next thing I did was I created a cloner with a bunch of nulls, so 6 nulls, and you will see these nulls here, little circles. And I made it a child of this null, so it's moving. Fantastic. There you go. It's just moving. Now, what I want to do is create a flat surface of sort of the profile of this as it's moving through space. So I made a couple of traces, right? So here are my traces. The problem with the tracer is that it's a multi-segment spline, and the Loft generator cannot stitch together multi-segment splines. It needs separate splines. So in order to keep this procedural, I thought, well, why don't I do the Loft? But when I say these things to myself, I use that kind of posh British accent. So I tell myself, like, why don't I create my own Loft? Right, that's how I speak. Okay, so I just created a nodes mesh, and I'm using the Loft line. In the Loft line needs to get each of the spline segments separately. And all I did was just explode line segments, and I'm getting each segment. This breaks up. It's the same as explode segments. I think here segments, explode segments. There you go. It's the same as this, but procedural. And I'm getting an array of geometries. I mean, that's just a terminology you need to learn. An array, it's a little package that has many geometries, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can see it if you go here and you say data inspector. Here's one spline, the other spline, the other spline, the other spline, the other one, and so forth. Okay, just in numbers. Just try and see it as the matrix, right? You are Neo and you're looking at this and you're saying, oh, I can see a streak, not just numbers going up and down, right? And I'm saying get the first one, see, get index 0, get index 1, 2, 3, and it's only 5. So it just went boop, 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 boop. And this just lofts these into this. There you go. That's it. And because the tracer takes care of from end 10 frames, so when, as this is playing, when it stops, it gets smaller again because the tracer takes care of that. The tracer takes care of tracing the nulls. So, and also because this is generated using a Loft line, the UVs are taken care of. And the reason why that's important is that if you're going to create a bunch of, streaks like this, you want to be able to define the shape. So this shape is made by the following thing. I got a ramp, which creates the opacity. All right, everything goes in the opacity, sorry. So basically here I have this is the thing. It's just a luminant surface. and I'm creating a noise for the opacity to make it interesting. And I've got these three things. I have a simple ramp, a gradient, another ramp, which I'm mixing it with this one over here, and then a maximum noise. And basically, these two over here will create the main three lines that fade out, and the noise creates that, and there you have it. So you can use nodes without having to delve into algorithms and all that kind of stuff. What I'm doing here is nothing different than doing the following thing. Copy, new, paste. Press C to make it editable. Well, I'm going to do a, sorry, let's go here and do a current state to object. So current state to object. There you go. So now I got it. Come on. So cut. Let's go back here and paste it. So I have this. So my nodal network is take this, split them all apart, spline, segments, explode segments. Take all these segments. There you go. Make a, oh, I need to use my accent. Make a loft spline and drag them in here. And now you have your thing, right? And everything is taken care of automatically. So that's all I had to do, but in a procedural manner. That's it. So from this point onwards, the only thing I need to keep track is these elements here, how many of these I'm going to use, and the numbers, and how many I'm going to generate. I'm going to use how many inputs to generate here. They need to be the same as the number of nulls I have here. That's it. That's the only thing you need to keep track of. Anyway, so that was another sort of example of how you can use very simple, can I call it algorithmic thought? Maybe. Which I think in a different way that will improve your problem solving abilities. Okay, let me check the comments. Here you go. Hello. Hello. Mugalbu, let's see the question. You're going to ask me another difficult question, aren't you? Right? Let me read it. Is there a better alternative to the Boolean object if I need to intersect, add, subtract objects? The viewport gets too slow when using a number of Booleans. Well, the current Boolean is faster than the previous one. And the previous one, the legacy one, is in some cases, well, try the legacy. And if that doesn't work, no, there is nothing else you can do alternative if you want to do these things. I don't know if I can suggest a volumetric workflow. I assume not, because you're probably working with hard surface objects. But yeah, use it and bake it down. Now, it depends what you're trying to bool as well, right? There are some edge cases which can be very complex. Jess, what's up? Yeah, I'm glad you like this. Jess, hit me up on Backstage, right? About this. So Backstage is our forum. Let's see. Max and Move question here. Let's see. Edgar. I know Edgar, don't I? So Max and Move's question. When you transfer your facial mocap, custom character, you lose a texture. Facial mocap data to a custom character. You lose the texture. Is a way to keep it? That's a good question. Can you download it? I'm not sure. Edgar, email me. Let's take a look at this. Maybe we can do a one-on-one about this. Okay. So what else do we have here? Let me check and see. Let me see if we have any other question. What time is it? Okay, we're doing good on time. We're doing good on time. See if I have anything interesting. Oh, I think I do. I do. Give me a second. Let me quickly. Let's see, is this it? Let's see a question here. Export rendering with some material black buckets appear. This is not a Camilo. Hello. This is not a question I can answer. This is something you need to send to tech support. Yeah, because it sounds like a bug. Yeah, it shouldn't appear. So plus, I don't use a Mac. I wish I did, but I don't. Although my PC is fast. That's a different question. Okay, what's this? Mango Live, another difficult one. I've seen some expressing a lack of interest in nodes, but I believe one of the best tools that Faxon has come out with for power users. Please fight for nodes and show off as much as you can. Yeah, well, this is an ongoing discussion, right? Let's talk about this. Does everyone have 5 minutes to talk about this? I do. Let's have a sip of coffee. Some water, fizzy. So, we live in a time where the consumption of media is quick. It's scrolling. It's 9 by 16 and all that kind of stuff. So, people make things using other software, which is very, very, very appealing. So, I can create a video. Up, I posted one of the smear tests and all that, and on Instagram, and I got a bunch of likes and all that. I'm not even popular because up until a week ago, I had only posted on Instagram one photo 4 or 5 years ago. That was it, and yet people still follow me. Thank you, but yeah. So I thought I'd post it, and I got a lot of likes. So imagine if you have eyes on yourself and you do something like this, and you say, "Oh, I've created a tool," and people say, "Wow, great." Now, people get impressed by watching users make things using third-party software and their own technologies, and all 3D software is very capable these days, right? Everything. There's not a bad piece of software. There are easier ones like Cinema 4D, um, ones that provide, very good customer care like Cinema 4D, that have great compatibility with Adobe products like Cinema 4D. And then there are other software that do fantastic things as well. Because a lot of eyes are on these products, a lot of people do really great things. And then they say, okay, why don't we do them on Cinema 4D? Well, because yes, they do look interesting. They are impressive, procedural cities and all that. But if you think about it, the value, the particular procedural building that someone made, how does it fit within the work you do? I mean, let me poll this because this is an opinion I have. You have a procedural building generator that creates your standard, let's say European, Parisian building that has those nice apartments, old building with the shops on the streets and so forth. So, how many times have you needed one of those? Because now you can go on places like, for example, Kitbash or websites like that, and or even Cinema for these asset browser, and you can find excellent assets, and you can do great amount of stuff. How many times have you missed that French looking building which you are going to populate a downtown French, or I don't know, Central European city? Uh, from my experience, it is impressive, all right. And I created. If anyone was of you was watching a couple of years ago, I did one using MoGraph. I did a procedural building facade with the corners, with all the windows, with all that, just by using MoGraph, and it was extremely fast and it was extremely flexible because all these things use the same principles. They don't have terrible sophistication behind them. You define what's a corner, or you define what's the top, what's the bottom, how many floors, and you pretty much make everything, model everything so that they fit like Lego pieces, and there you go. That's what you do. You can add a bit more sophistication. Sorry, but how many times have you missed that? And in my experience, it's not tons. So these are impressive. And if you go on Dominic Rockley's YouTube channel, you're going to see stippling, and you're going to see Dominic is an extremely talented artist and an extremely talented technical director at the same time. He has that amazing ability, both technical and artistic. And you can see what he does. They're available. He gives them. He has a little very cheap pack he sells as well. So it's because people love the whole idea that they can do them, but they don't really do them. Now I understand. Just to wrap it up, because I can go on and on about this. I understand that it's great publicity as well. So, if you look at my YouTube channel, my nodes videos are not the ones that had the most views. And I have a very small, I've got about 10,000 views, but I haven't made a video for nearly 2 years now. So, and it's just been steady. But if you look at my old videos, the ones that were really popular were the ones that I did fake smoke before even pyro, and wrapping a phone using UV wrapping. That's what people want. Those are the things everyone works on every day. Anyway, if there is enough demand, I do have questions now and then, but heavy demand for nodes doesn't exist. If this starts coming up, then of course, and again, you can check on Cineversity. There was an old series I did. If you really, really want to start working with nodes, first of all, check out what's already available. Donovan Keith has made some very interesting tutorials. Dominic Rockley has made some great tutorials, and so forth. So just let us know through the official channels, and we'll see what we'll do, because I enjoy teaching this kind of stuff, but I don't want to put in too much work in, because we have tons of stuff we need to do for things that are very, very niche. And there is a Discord channel, Procedural Cinema 4D, I think it's called. So please look out for it. And if you are interested in procedural setups and nodes and all that, please feel free to jump on. Okay, let me see if there are any questions here. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to bring this up. It's not a lack of interest. It's the steep learning curve of thinking in a totally different way. Most artists think in forms, and I can't do that. It's very difficult for me to come up with pretty looking things. I can copy things really nicely, or I can see how something works and I can construct it from whatever is available to me, but I can't come up with these kind of visual novel concepts. But I can put things together with mechanical parts or copy paste programming. I can't read program, but I can copy paste program. I can find where in the code this is and copy it and paste it and create my own code. So again, show us your interest. Okay, the Discord channel. Okay, let me do. Let me see. It's called. I need to find it in one of my million monitors. So I need to turn around here. And there's a Discord. It's called C4D Procedural. Capital C for capital D space procedural with a capital P. Can I copy this? Yeah. And yeah, I don't know who does the invites there and all that, but I'm sure you can find it. I think so. Otherwise, drop me a message, and I can see if anyone needs anything. You can hit me up on X at NosemanGR. And let me show you where you are. There you go. Or on Instagram, although I don't know how to. Do you know that I don't know how to use Instagram? I don't get it. I don't get Instagram. I want to click on my Instagram page and look at my stuff, but it shows me the feed of other people. I don't follow Instagram to follow other people. It's me. It's all about me. Me. Okay. Where are we here? Comments. Yeah, funny. We need AI UV. Believe me, you don't need AI UV. No, you don't. Uh, AI is going to make a hash of UV as it makes a hash with MoGraph. Test it. Go to your most advanced chatbot and tell it to tell you how to put together something of a medium complexity MoGraph setup. Yeah, and then come ask me and see who's going to do a better job. Let's see. Perfect. So there you go, everyone. Use this as your guide. And there are some other communities that I've joined, so we can. I want to discuss and see if everyone's okay to publicize those. But for the time being, yeah, you can check that out, and you'll be able to see amazing stuff. Yeah, the contribution in the C4D procedural by extremely talented and smart people is absolutely amazing. Okay. Hello. Evening. I assume you are eastwards, right? Europe. Otherwise, you wouldn't say evening, would you? Okay. So let's see what we have here. Well, we're approaching the top of the hour. I don't see any questions. Let me check the spreadsheet. I've been lately, well, quite a bit slouching when it comes to various question. Okay. Let's see. Which one shall I? Check out today's a quick tip as well. It was sort of an interesting thing about how to make a sort of a buckle and belt setup. It was very rudimentary. It showed only one of these things. Let me show you what the result is, because that will be just a bit of a filler. And where's my 3D? There you go. Projects. There it is. Belts and buckles. There you go. And it's the cached version. So basically, this is the cached version, so it's going to run nicely. It's about how to set, how to set the loop up here. This is this over here, and basically, I'm just using some connector tags, and that is a bit interesting. I'd like to talk about this because there's a question about how to make a lanyard model dynamic and so forth. So let me give you some tips and tricks because for some reason lately we've had some questions about in the past about someone, what's it called, climbers wear those things with the straps and the buckles and all that. That's called something. You have them in the army where you put I don't know, magazines and stuff like that. It's that thing. It's like a vest. Anyway, so it came up. Let's investigate a few things we can do here. Just because I find it interesting how you can play around with simulations of these kind of things. So what I like to do generally is have equidistant little quads, so that unless you want the wrinkles to be in a very certain direction, because the subdivision and the simulation also dictate how rigid something is. The fewer subdivisions, the more rigid it's going to be. So if you want this to have flexibility side by side, so like this, flexibility, but be rigid on this axis here, then do as I'm doing now. Okay, put fewer vertical and more horizontal. But in this particular case, go to the number that you need more and just increase it until this looks like a square. That's as accurate as you need to be. Now, I want to make a loop here. And a lot of people get, bend and put it there. No, 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 no. The best tool for this is the spline wrap. There's no better tool for this. go to a side which you like and draw whatever your lanyard or whatever this is going to be, draw it. You can also always go and you can extrude this. That's one way of doing it. No one says you can't do it that way. But yeah, for whatever reason, I like to use the spline wrap. Now let's go here. Let's add a spline wrap. Let's drag this in here. And we need to make sure that this thing, this is a flat arrow, is pointing in the correct direction. That's the Y. There you go. So there we have it. We have our little plane. You can go here and increase the number to make them nice and square. And everything is good. Now I can keep it procedural if I wish, and I'm going to keep it procedural. So what I want to do here, first of all, let's make a belt buckle. I'm just going to make it a circle. I'm not going to do too many fancy modeling and schmodeling. Nope. So let's do this here. Whoop. And actually, not even a circle. I'm going to do it even simpler. I'm going to use a torus, also known as an edible suite in other software. But we call it a torus because technically and mathematically it's correct. There you go. So make this a rigid body and make sure if it has holes to make the collision not auto, but triangular mesh or something else, but not auto. There you go. And the other thing I'm going to do is go here, right click and set this to be a cloth, right? So everything's going to fall. Great. And let's go and pin this up here. My preferred way of pinning is create an object, make it smaller, add some subdivisions. We don't really need them, but yeah, I'm just going to add some subdivisions here. And you can make it smaller. Not there, but there. There we go. Just add some subdivisions and make this. The way I like to work with these kind of things is I can make it a collider body, or I don't want to do that. The way I create objects to pin other cloth is make a cloth, go to mix animation and pin it 100%. That's it. And then go to this object, add a connector tag only for other objects. Create live update and slide this until you get enough pins you feel comfortable with, right? There you go. So now this is going to do the flop. This is called the flop. Good. Let me hide this little bugger here and this little line here. I don't want to see these. So now we have the flop. So let me just go quickly to filter and get rid of this, this, and this. There we go. Oh, nice. Viewport. Perfect. So I want to create something akin to a stitchy thingy here. So I'm going to go to this and I'm going to say, I'm going to use a connector. And I can always go here and do something like that, but you need to say same object. But this pins it to itself. I don't like that. You can do this, but it's kind of silly. All right. So what I'm going to do is go here and add a point selection. Add a box field. Make sure I want all the points inside the box to be 100% selected. So go to the remapping and just make sure you don't have an inner offset. So now everything inside this box is selected. I'm going to show you a little thing you need to be aware of in a moment. Now, I'm going to put this here. So what you're going to see, I'm going to put it here, and I've got this polygon point selection now. I can use this point selection here. So in theory, only what's inside here is going to be connected. Okay. So same object. That's interesting. I am not getting any. Ha! Oh, the other thing I need to do is go here and make sure we have, yeah, that was what I wanted to show you. Use deformed points. Now, the object you see here, undeformed, looks like this. So these points are not inside the box. And if this is off, then that state, this is the state that the field looks for. But if it's here, now it's looking at the deformed state of it. We should get, let's go to this, and we should get, there you go. So it's not pointing in the other direction. I have the impression this could be due to normals. Let's see, because these should spread across the other side. So let me go here and make this a minus x. Let's go here and create again. That is interesting. Huh. That is interesting. This is not the result I was getting earlier. They're not crossing over. It should cross over. Yep. That is interesting. Always draw. Yeah. Look at this. This is one of those moments where now my brain is mashed potato, because this should create those things. Yeah. It's one of those things. It works on the other model 100%, and it doesn't work on the one you're doing live. Yeah. Oh, well, I need to find the solution and tell you in a couple of weeks, because now this is just, oh, well, same object. So I want the same object, not other objects. That's correct. If I put other objects, what it should do is, yeah, you can see it works with the other object, correct. And it should fire across. It should fire across. I need to think about this. Go here. You have to update it. It's clear. Create. Yep. This makes absolutely no sense at this point. And they're not going to connect. That's, I think, what's going to be the problem, because without that, they don't connect. Oh, Lord. Why? Oh, Lord, why? Point selection. Anything else I need? Does anyone have an idea here what can be the case? No. It's just one of those things. It's just one of those things. And it works wonderfully in the quick tip, and it works wonderfully over here as well. You can see all the points are selected. Everything is fantastic, but except for this, that just, yeah, the idea is not to make it editable, because I don't need to make it editable. As you can see, everything works fine over here. If I remove the caches, clear scene cache, and rewind, and yeah, if I get rid of this and get rid of this, and you can see that, do I have those? You have these connections across, and I have these connections. I mean, it works even with, look at that. This is what I'm expecting to do. And, point selection, distance, max connections, update. There's nothing different about this and that. So it works fine without a problem. And here it decided to not work. Well, I guess this is good, because if there's something that needs to be fixed, the last thing I'm going to do, sometimes you have to, let's give it a little bit of a nudge. I'm going to go and just change my spline to bring it closer. I mean, I shouldn't have to do that, right? But I'm going to do it just for the sake of saying that I tried one more thing. And update live. And now it's going across. Yeah, I don't know how to interpret this. This should have worked. The good thing is that I have witnesses. There we go. So the whole thing is to show you this, that you can use this combination of points and the field and all that to sort of wrap these together. Now, the next thing you could do, so when you get to this point, you need, it's a good practice at this point. And look at how nice this sort of folds over and all that. This is the point where you need to cache your simulation. And I just when I'm in my iteration mode, I cache internally. So just cache the object or cache the scene. Cache the scene is interesting because it's going to cache everything, including your rigid bodies. Okay. Now I'm going to show you what I'm going to do, and everything I've shown you up to this point is for the punchline, right? And I'm going to show you tell you what the punchline is. Let me hide this. I'm going to use a thicken. I'm going to make it, let's say, 3. You can see that it's cached now, okay? But you will see that there may be a problem with priorities. Look at that. So when you get to this point and you cache it, make sure you go to the cloth cache, this one here, that's under the thicken in the basic tab, and you set the simulation to initial. That's what you need to do. And now it's going to play properly. This is something that our fantastic developers are aware of and are looking for a solution. But in any case, yeah, now you have something. And yeah, I've seen a lot of people trying to simulate ribbons by simulating this double thickness. No, 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 no. When you're doing a ribbon, you don't have to do that. Just make sure that you change after you cache it. You changed the priority. And look at that. Look how nice it is. Okay. If you want it to be stiffer, just make sure that you have more iterations or fewer subdivisions and so forth. And that will get you, you know, where you need to be. Okay. 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 The David, the Discord. Are you talking about the procedural? Yeah. If you look at the chat, Drake, just type in Discord plus C4D plus procedural, and you will find it. Excellent. Yo, 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 did you email me? Did you? I'm waiting for an email. I still have some time today. Okay. Yeah, I think with this, we're going to wrap it up. Stick around for the quick housekeeping or not. Yeah, not yet. What are you doing? Because I started my day just over 10 hours ago. Again, I was dreaming of smears and animations and all that. So I still have a bit of steam. So yeah, so when people work, I understand that. So let me quickly do a bit of housekeeping, and let's do this. And I'm going to post a link you can use. And use this link, the one I just posted, to go to this page, ask your questions and so forth. Again, I keep repeating it, and mostly to remind myself, we are looking for better ways for you to ask your questions. So we'll see how that goes. This page will lead you to the events page, Cineversity, the training team on YouTube. And if you want to sign up for the newsletters and the events page, you will see what's going on, live shows, where Maxon is going, what they're doing, and what shows are coming up. Maxon Training Team YouTube channel has all these videos after they are played live. You'll find them recorded, and they also include timestamps and comments by a very good friend and mentor, Dr. Sassy. Oh, what I did forget to do is get my little photo booth. I'm going to do it at the end for the thumbnail of the video. Go to the Maxon YouTube channel and check out fantastic presentations from very, very talented artists over here. Likewise, go check out Maxon ZBrush YouTube channel and see what real artists do, not people like me. And finally, go to Cineversity to learn everything you need to learn about. Oh, look at that. About Maxon product. So I'm going to do my little photo booth here. Let's see if there's anything interesting here. I'm going to use this now. I'm going to, there you go. And this will be for my good friend, Dr. Sassy, to use as a thumbnail. There we go. That's sort of a photo booth kind of thing. Let me show my face. I will put on the media and all that. Let's see. Anything else? Anything else? I'm just looking at the comments. Nothing else. Stay in touch. I'll see you all very soon. At the end of the show, there's a QR code. I think it leads. It's the same link as the one I posted above. I don't really know, and I always ask people to remind me if you took the snapshot and tell me where it leads, but no one has. But it's okay. I understand. Take care, everyone. See you in a couple of weeks. Bye bye.